Hello, class. Welcome to the next session. So we're almost done, supposedly, with the day one. In this topic, we'll discuss about the definition of tools. So tools muna tayo in short. Now let me just delete these clips which aren't necessary, or let me just delete all of the clips except our sequence. So delete ko lang po silang lahat. I'll just keep my sequence with me. And import lang natin mostly yung mga clips na 1080 para magaan lang po siya. So going back to our free footage of music. So this topic is definition of tools. How do we use the tools, class? Yan. Paano po ba natin ginagamit? We're not going to use all of the tools right now, but I'm going to teach you the mostly or the commonly used tools to make our work better. Okay, so I'll just start with drag and dropping these 1080 clips and tsaka isang audio siguro. I'll just drag them here. Now, class, before I will teach you about the tools, much better if we organize our clips in the project panel as folders. So we're able to organize them through folders. But how can we create a folders? So creating a folder here, it's not a new folder, but it's called new bin. And where can we find this new bin? There are two ways on how to create one. We're creating folders. So on the bottom right of your project panel, you'll find this new bin, this one. Just click it once and it will generate a bin and it's asking for a name. Let me just rename this bin first as videos. Or if you want to redo it, or if you want to undo ko muna ha, nung hindi ko pa na-create siya. So once again, you just click this new bin. I'll just name this bin as videos. So lahat ng mga video clips ko, I'll be putting them inside this videos na folder. So how to put your clips inside this videos na folder? Literally drag and drop your clips, or select your clips first, your video clips, and drag and drop them inside the videos and folder. So they're now inside. If you click the drop down, you can see that it has video clips inside, pero hindi pa lahat nandito sa videos na folder. So I'll just put the other video clips here. So they are now inside. Now for the audio, so we are done with the videos. Now for my audio, even though I only have one audio, if I have new audio clips, like for example, mag-drag ko na isang audio pa. Mag-drag pa ko na isang audio pa. Now I'll create another bin for the audio. So pwede ako mag-click ng new bin. Or you can also right-click here. Anywhere here in this blank space, right-click ka lang and you'll find their new bin. Type lang ako ng audio. I'll just rename it as audio. So all of my audio clips, I'll put them inside the audio folder. Click the drop down to hide it. Or in case if you need them again, just click the drop down. So mas malinis na siya if you click the drop, if you open them, or if you put them into folders. Because if you needed them, you can just click the drop down. If you don't need them, you can just hide the drop down lang. Para mas organize sila. Now let me just drag a video clip first. Si fist bump pipiliin ko, this one. Disregard its playhead position, umabot siya ng 1 hour. That's because of the footage itself from its source. Kaya disregard it. Dito lang tayo sa kanyang in and out duration. So this clip is 6 seconds. You can see that it is 6 seconds. Now, I'm not going to drag the entire clip. I'm only going to choose a part of it. So if I wanted to start here, hold on. I wanted to start here. I'll click I. Then drag ko yung playhead. I wanted it to end here. Oh. Now, since I'm talking about tools, before I drag them to the timeline, here's our toolbox. Now, maybe you might be using your laptop, so you might not see the type tool below, because you might not see the type tool below kasi nakakompress siya. You're able to drag this part above ha. Stretchable kasi yung mga panels natin. Now, we have the selection tool. So that is the first tool that we'll discuss. That is the only tool that we've been using earlier to just simply select our clips and to move them, right? So we have the selection tool and they have their own shortcuts. So the shortcut of selection tool is V. So you can see here, parenthesis V. Now we're going to skip the other tools. Let's go over directly to razor tool. So razor tool is the one that I've told you earlier. That is how we cut the clips into two. So razor tool C. Now, we have the hand tool. Actually, we'll be using the hand tool soon. Hand tool, that is H to move to our timeline, like to hover around in our timeline. And lastly, type tool to create a text. So type tool T. So these are our shortcuts. Actually, you can see them here. Type tool, hand tool, razor tool, and selection tool. Selection tool muna. Let me just drag the video only and drag ko lang siya sa start. So if I'll play it back, let's assume na nabitin ako. So what if nabitin ako sa kanya outro? I wanted to expand the outro kasi in this clip mismo, it still has enough duration. So gusto ko ma-expand ng kanyang outro niya from the timeline. Gusto ko siya ma-expand dito. Kasi the clip originally still has enough duration. Not unless if ginamit mo yung buong duration. Pero if you wanted to expand the outro, do I need to go back to the source screen and just change the outro? Pwede din. And you drag the clip again. Well, let me just try to zoom in more. Pero not using that way, let me just click undo twice. You don't really need to go back to the source screen kasi if the clip is already in the timeline, the outro is, or the duration of the clip is expandable. Now, ito yung magagawa ni selection tool. To select the clips, to delete them, kasi in order for you to delete, you need to select them first para ma-delete mo, di ba? Or to move them. And not just by moving them, if you put your tool or your selection tool to the start or the end, or you put it to the end, you can see that outro na arrow. So if you try to or expand it outside going forward, you are expanding the duration of your text. So what, or the duration of your clip. And stop ko siya dito. Play back. So nag-expand nga. However, there is a limit. Like, what if I wanted to expand it infinitely? Like, all the way out. No, you cannot expand it all the way out. Like, if expected for the clip to, like, at least slow down kasi pinilit mo siyang ma-expand. No, it doesn't work like that if you do slow motions here. We have a different method. So, class, bakit po ba siya may limit? Because that's the exact end of the original clip. Hanggat dyan lang talaga matatapos yung source niya. Kaya hindi mo na siya mapipilit. That's the exact end of the clip. Now, if you want to go backwards with the intro, like you want to start at the exact start because it's not included in the selection, you cannot go backwards because your clip is at the start. So you need to give them, or you need to adjust, or give them space for them to adjust. So drag ko lang tong intro backwards and just drag it again. So in short, this is the entire duration of the clip na. From start to end. And if you change your mind, you wanted to compress it again. Like what if I wanted it to end here again? Instead of using razor tool, your selection tool cannot just expand the outro, but it can also compress the outro. And also the intro, you wanted to compress it? Adjustable po sila. So that is our selection tool. Now moving on, let's proceed with the razor tool. So here with the razor tool, or if I'm in the selection tool, just click C na lang para hindi ka na pabalik-balik, like click ka kay selection tool. Just click C on your keyboard lang, class. Just click C on your keyboard. Yan. So naka-razor tool ka na. Now you click the clip in order to cut it. Diba kay CapCut, ang style sa CapCut is yung playhead dapat na ma-align mo. Then you cut to where you click the Control B to cut sa CapCut. Now here with us, just click razor tool and mas may freedom ka power to cut. Okay, they have their own advantages to each software. So the razor tool is just split in the clip into two. Now, deleting the clip is not the work of the selection tool, but deleting the clip is not the work of the razor tool, but that is the work of the selection tool. So I'll click V, select the clip that I wanted to delete in order for me to delete them. So very simple lang, very basic si razor tool, no? Now, to explain more about razor tool, much better if yung una na drag natin is the audio. So what if we wanted to create a music video or just a video lang na may music tapos music video na, di ba? And every time we hear a good beat or if there's a beat of that audio, we change the clips para at least may simple po siya na cut na transition. Nasabay siya sa audio. So let me just drag the audio. And class, I told you how to zoom in earlier, right? So you drag the slide, compress mo siya so that you can zoom in, but try to avoid zooming in too much. Kasi baka kasi sinagad mo dito sa pinakadulo. So, if you thought na nag-speed up yung clip because when you try to play it back, sobrang bilis ng playhead mo. Hindi hindi po siya naka fast forward ha. It's just that if you check the time above, that's 5 frames, 10 frames, and this is 1 second. Nasa loob ka pala ng 1 segundo kaya sobrang bilis ng takbo sa playhead mo. Now, how will I know about the time here above? Okay. So, side topic muna tayo if it's fine. Identifying the time here above or the time ruler numbers. Now, nasagad mo kasi siya sa pinaka-start. So, you are like going inside 1 second. Now, if you could remember, the settings of our sequence, we have chosen 30. So, if 30 po siya, 30 frames per second, meaning 30 frames here, 30 counts. Every time you move, like move forward, that is frame by frame, that's picture per picture. So, you will identify to where your playhead is at right now because you'll be seeing it here in the top left. So, this one class, on the top left, this is our playhead position. Meaning, kung nasan si playhead natin nakaposition in our timeline, dito po natin nakikita. So, starting from the right, this is how you count the time. Starting from the right, this is our frames. Next to it is seconds, minutes, and hour. So, for it to be 1 second, how many frames does it take? As what I've said, 30. So, it takes 30 counts here para equivalent siya to 1 second. So, if I'll move it frame by frame, so this is 12, 13, 14, 15 frames. That's 15. 15 frames, class, is exactly half a second. Kasi if 30 is 1 second, then half a second is 15. What's half of 30? That's 15, right? Then another 15 frames para maging fully 1 second na siya. Kaya, to avoid something like this, don't zoom in too much. Yung sakto lang. At least makikita mo, pwedeng 1 second each na interval. So this is 1 second each. Or maybe makikita mo 0 to 5 seconds. So 5 seconds ang interval. So ito yung sakto usually. Now, don't be afraid to where your playhead is positioned. Kasi if you wanted your playhead to be exactly at 3 seconds, like for example, I wanted my playhead to be positioned at exactly 3. How will I know that my playhead is exactly at 3? If the time here on the top left is exactly 3. So you don't need to really zoom in for you to see 3 seconds to align it at 3 seconds. Kasi nga, dito ka titingin sa playhead position kasi. So it must be 3.00. So that is 3 seconds. Your playhead is positioned at exactly 3 seconds. What if I wanted my playhead to be positioned at 4.5 seconds? So 4.5 seconds. So 4.5 seconds is located na playhead position. What will be the playhead position of the 4.5 second? That will be 4.15. That's 4.5 seconds. Let me just zoom in more slightly. There you go. Or if you wanted to zoom in, why not? Pero pwede mo siyang madrag yung playhead mo. You can also type here. You wanted your playhead to be at 12 seconds, then you type here. On the seconds, this is the seconds, right? 12, and then the frames 00 para exactly 12 po siya. If you want your playhead to go back from the top, you click home on your keyboard instead. Home po in your keyboard, the home button. Or kay Mac users, you just need to hold F function key and left arrow key. Function and left arrow key lang for Mac users. But for keyboard, for Windows users, home lang. Or you drag your playhead you drag your playhead from the top. So this is how we identify time. Now, in our audio, tapos hindi ako naka-record, no? Yan, naka-record pala. Let me zoom into the height. So you're able to adjust the height. So if we have here the slide of the width, we also have the slide of the slide of the width. Yeah, ito nga. We also have the slide sa ating layers. So you see the slide on the right. So this is the slide for the audio track, and this is the slide for the video track. Now, if I zoom in this slide by compressing these circles in the start or the end of it, I'm zooming in like this one. Now, I'm emphasizing my audio track. Bakit ako nag-emphasize sa audio track? Para mas klaro yung spike. Now, I will not just listen, like we're tracking beats, right? But I need to see the spike. At least there's a proof na may spike po siya, meaning there might be a beat there. But not all the time. If mataas yung spike, hold on please. So, not all the time if, hold on, mataas yung spike, that's the beat. That's why you still need to listen. Listening is important. If you feel like that's the beat, then that's the beat. Kasi sa ibang softwares, may beat tracker. Sa atin, wala. Ang anong gusto kong mangyari dito? We were in the Razer tool. Bakit tayo umabot dito with the audio? Kasi gusto ko if my beat, we cut the video clips. So why not just try to drag your video clips randomly? Like for example, this clip. Drag ko lang siya, drag video only. You play it back, and you listen. Ding, 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 ding. So that's the beat. So hold on. Ding, ding, ding. Sorry. This was the first beat. If you feel like that's the beat, then that's the beat. You need to listen to it. Once again, when I was working as a real estate video editor, napaka-keen ni client when it comes to the beat of the audio. There was one time na hadol po ako na meeting talaga kasi there was like one video na hindi ko na timing. Parang hindi ko alam kung bakit hindi ko siya na timing. So, call out ako. I reconstruct or I revision the video. Nag-revision po ako. Parang matlaki yung trabaho ko ulit. So, napaka-importante ma-timing mo muna yung beat. So before I put any text clips, any animations, any sound effects, what I do is I gather my clips first and timing them with the beat. So ngayon, yung ating mga video clips are just random. So, importante ma-timing muna sa beat. So, you play it back. This was the first beat, this parts. So, I'll just use Razor tool. You don't need to click Razor tool. C na ka na lang. C for Razor tool. You click here to cut. V for selection tool. V. Select the other half and delete. And you continue to drag your other clips. You don't need to choose in and out. Not necessary pa sa ngayon. We're just practicing pa kasi. Drag video only. Spacebar. Playback. This was the next beat. This part. Razor tool. Cut here. V for selection tool. Select the other half and deletes. And you continue. Maybe mga 10 to 15 seconds po yung assignment natin. So this was the next beat. Razor tool. Select and delete. And continue. So if you're following my lead, just continue. It's better to watch it in the recordings kasi you can pause the recordings and play back and you can continue if you're done, diba? So cut ka lang up until you're done. So Razor tool, delete and cuts. Moving on. Ding 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 ding. So clear in and out ko muna. One more. I'll add siguro at least 2 more clips. So let me just drag clips from my project panel. So waterfalls, tapos to. Ito din. Tsaka itong people walk. No, I'm done with the people walking. Pedestrian. Dubrovnik. Wala pa to ah. Yeah, maybe just 2 clips lang add ko. Meron pa. This is the beats. And lastly, itong Lake 2. No, I'm done with Lake 2, Fist Bump, Dubrovnik, ito. So class, I haven't discussed about the hand tool yet. I'll discuss about the hand tool later. Pero we're using Razor tool, diba? So this is where the hand tool gets handy. Why? Ganito kasi. So I'm moving on to the next part sa timeline. So instead of using like selection tool and you drag the slide, instead of using this, I use hand tool instead. So we're skipping selection tool, Razor tool, hand tool, and type tool. So while hindi pa ako tapos sa Razor tool, hand tool muna ako. So I'll just click hand tool or click H. If nasa ibang tool ka, you click H for hand tool. And you grab here. Grab ka lang dito sa timeline here. Just grab. Grab mo lang. Like how you hover. Hover lang. And move over here. Kapag napwesto mo na yung time na gusto mo, you click V for selection tool. And play back again. So, cut ko siya. C for Razor tool. Cut here. Select the other half. Selection tool. Select and delete. You keep on doing it. Selection tool, Razor tool lang. Hand tool if you wanted to move. Now, Well, you need to cut your audio. Kasi if you won't cut your audio, if you won't cut your audio, magpapatuloy po siya mag-playback if you won't cut and delete it. So you need to delete it to where your video ends. And we're almost done. Now, moving on, we're done with the Razer 2. So I guess we are clear at that part. Adjust ko muna ulit ang audio tracks para hindi masyadong malaki siya. So we have the video. We're done with the selection tool and the Razer tool. Then si hand tool, I told you that you're using it to move around, especially if we're zooming in, it will be handy pa if you use hand tool. So going back, class, we have here the last one, si type tool. So I haven't discussed the type tool. So this is how we generate a text. Si type tool pa. There you go. Type tool. This is our playhead. Now listen. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. So type tool. Now, if you wanted to generate a text, kapag mag-generate ka ng text, you must position your playhead, okay, first. Kasi kung nasan si playhead mo nakaposition, dyan malagay automatically ang ating text clip. And it always starts at the top. So kung occupied na yung layer 1 kasi because of the video clip, then automatically the text clip will be put into the layer 2. Okay. So just click here in the screen. Click ka lang po. To create a text, type tool, just click. You don't drag it like this. That's wrong. That's really wrong. Delete ko lang siya. Kapag mag-create ka ng text, just simply click lang. Just one click and you're good. There you go. I'll type here what? Day 1 assignment. And then click ko si selection tool pagkatapos ko mag-type. So pagkatapos mo mag-type, you need to click selection tool. Why? So that you're able to move it around. So let me just expand it by dragging the edge, scaling it up, and putting it in the middle. So if you drag the body, you're moving the position. But if you want to put it exactly in the middle, there's a technique for this. My technique po, if you want to exactly align it in the middle, while you're dragging it, everybody, try to hold control on your keyboards. So try to hold control on your keyboard. Tingnan nyo. Control. You hold control while you drag it. Di ba? Napapansin mo yung X and Y axis? But if you hold command on your keyboards, Command for Mac, control for Windows. So if Mac ka command, if you're using Windows, you hold control and you can align it exactly in the top middle, in the bottom middle, or in the middle. But if you don't hold control, then you don't see the X and Y axis at all. So you hold control for you to see it. Please try it in your end, please. So we have created our text. Unfortunately, we're going to design our text appearance on the next session pa. So yun, hindi pa. Okay, let's just fully export this project with this type of font kasi mataas din na topic on how to edit your textbook kasi class. So, every time we create a text, the text is automatically on top, di ba? And every time you just created it, it always starts at 5 seconds. And it must be on top kasi it's a text clip. Now, honestly, text clips are infinite. They don't have any specific duration. They are expandable, yung outro nila. Kasi they're not moving. They're considered as images, right? It's not like videos that relies on the original duration of the clip. Now, let me just align my text clip to clip 2 and 3. So this is the screen time. This is where it starts to show up at clip 2 and 3 lang. Now, to generate a new text, you must click escape or you must deselect, you must click outside or you move your plate outside po to generate a new text. Hindi po siya pwede mahalo in just one clip. Kasi mangyari, if you're trying to create text right now, a text, and you're still here, selected in this text clip, you are combining 2 titles in one clip, which is wrong as of now. So let me click undo. Dapat talaga, if may plano ka magbuo ng other text clip, you move your playhead outside of its duration. Type tool, you click here. Day 1 assignment. Thank you, class. And very simple lang. Tapos selection tool, expand ko lang siya and I'll put it here in the bottom middle. I'll just hold control and put it here. Compress ko lang yung duration niya and I'll produce another text. Lastly, the last text. So Jog may play it outside of its duration sa second text clip. Type tool, click here. See you on the next session. Don't try to click enter because it starts at a left aligned text. See you in the next session. Let's make it one word lang. Selection tool, move it around, and I'll just put it in the bottom middle. Compress ko lang yung time niya. Ding, 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 ding. So at least in some way, you can practice compiling your clips with the help of Razor tool, selection tool. Very simple lang. Identifying the beat of the music and you change your clips kapag may beat. Tapos naglagay ka ng simple lang na text. So always remember to do not forget to always save your project. Or just hit Control S lang po, class. So this is supposedly the second to the last session. I'm going to end this topic and I'll see you in the next session pa. Exporting na tayo para mabuo na to as a whole video. So stop recording.